Far out. This dude's fighters are not gonna go away.
He's spotted by Hydra. Fuck you, Hatsu. You it.
Bye-bye.
Good day there, once again viewers, this is your mate Kamikaze78 here, and today guys I'm coming at you with some more World of Warships content, but in a slightly different way. Today we're going to be doing a post-match game analysis, if you will. Now, originally this gameplay here was going to be used as background footage for my upcoming World of Warships HMAS Perth review. However, after watching this clip back, there was something special about it that I wanted to share in its own right. You know, I thought as though it deserved its own video where there was something that I wanted to point out to you guys in particular. Originally I was going to do it in the form of a gameplay highlights, but unfortunately my in-game microphone was not recorded, and therefore that kind of ruined per se what I wanted to point out to you guys in this gameplay. So as a result, here we are with a post-match game analysis where I'm going to point out the key points to you guys in the form of this commentary. So what's going on here? Well, the key focus is going to be between me and my mate Fivecot, and the fact that we are both in HMAS Perths. You will see that as to why that is the case very soon and throughout the video. We've also got our mate Awesome A3 in the background, who is running in an aircraft carrier and is going to be providing heavy hitting for us against enemy battleships and the enemy aircraft carrier, as well as doing a bit of scouting ahead for us as well. Anyway, myself and Scott, rather stylishly if I do say so myself, are moving towards the A point. Here we are in a bit of a formation, and we're going to try and capture the A point really early and sort of give our team the upper hand in the form of the scorecard, and sort of give our team a bit of an initiative as far as points goes. However, we have now been spotted by aircraft, and we've lost our 9.6 kilometer detection range, which makes us a little bit more vulnerable, and as a result, Scott starts being engaged by an enemy Cleveland. As you can see, the rounds are coming in. However, this is when our strategy that we discussed a bit earlier comes into play. Scott completely cuts his engines, and I activate my mobile smoke generator. Now, for all of those who aren't aware, the Perth comes with a very special smoke generator. Its smoke generator is continuously active for 90 seconds. It will continuously keep emitting smoke for 90 seconds. However, the smoke clouds that the Perth emits only lasts for a grand total of 10 seconds. So what does that mean? It means that the Perth can stick at a quarter speed and stay within its smoke cloud, its continuous smoke cloud, and therefore remain continuously undetected, which means as a result that Scott and I can both sit in this continuous smoke cloud sitting at 8 knots, and at last we can capture this A point completely undetected. As you can see, we are completely unrivaled as far as capturing this point goes. No one can counter-engage us because we're constantly moving in the cover of smoke. They can't blind fire into smoke because they've got no way to judge our speed and our position because we're constantly on the move. And that's shown there in those torpedoes that have just appeared on the right-hand side of the screen. As you can see, the torpedoes are behind me as to where our smoke was launched originally, and therefore whatever fired those torpedoes off had no way to tell where we would be by the time the torpedoes reached us as targets, and alas, they completely missed us. As you can see, we captured the A point as we intended to do so. We've come up near to an island, and the Perth also has some incredible acceleration. So as a result, myself and Scott are going to move up to full speed, accelerate the hell out of dodge, and get into the cover of this island. That's another factor about the Perth. Once its continuous smoke generator wears out, you can actually get out of dodge fairly quickly thanks to its blitzing acceleration and top speed of around about 33 knots. Anyway, Scott has also activated his hydroacoustic, another ship ability that we're going to be jumping in and out of between each other as the match goes on. And at last we found ourselves a Hatsuharu. The Perth, much like the Atlanta, is an ultimate destroyer hunter. With its 12.6 kilometer range artillery, it is designed at getting nice and close and slapping the hell out of a destroyer, which is what myself and Scott are about to do here. I take another 3k of health off the Hatsuharu, and he is out of the game instantly. Just goes to show the amount of close quarters power that two Perths have when they are working together. Anyway, on the agenda of close quarters fire support, Scott and I know that if we stick to the border of the map, we're going to be downright useless. So we make a hard right, a hard right turn back towards the A point, and then we're going to turn left and use the Hatsuharu smoke as cover. Once again, making a clear note of the Perths' maneuverability. We're able to make those extremely tight turns, almost destroyer-like turns. What the Perth can do here. It's a really maneuverable ship that can really make really tight corners, especially up against islands. So, Scott makes use of the Hatsuharu smoke and is about to start engaging the enemy battleship, the Fuso, that is off in the distance there. However, we come across another problem. The Hatsuharu smoke cloud tends to wear off a little sooner than we'd like. That doesn't matter though. Considering Scott's in a second Perth, he's got another mobile smoke cloud ready to go. And as a result, this battleship can fire or can blind fire all he likes into our smoke cloud, but it is not going to help him one bit because we are constantly mobile. And as a result, he simply cannot predict in a million years where we are going to be. And that gives Scott and I the complete liberty to shell him all we like. I'm going to get a fire on him now, and that's going to keep burning for quite some time and racking me up some serious damage. Now, while the Fuso may be slowly moving out of our firing arc because of that big bloody island, that doesn't matter. We have an independence and we want to secure our teammate air dominance, so alas, we can just start firing at this independence from the cover of smoke. Now, as you just saw up in the right-hand corner of your screen there, I got detected. Why did that happen? Simply because I forgot to turn alongside Scott. As you can see, I'm starting to trail a little bit behind Scott's smoke cloud, and I'm moving at a bit of an awkward trajectory to make sure that I stay inside of it. That's another key factor with this two Perth strategy. Whoever is the leading Perth and whoever is laying down the smoke, you must be in constant communication with your teammate to ensure that they also know where you are going, because when you're in this scoped in mode and when you're this close to each other, it's really tough to tell as to where each one of you are going, whether it be in person or in the map. So always make sure you're in constant communication to tell your teammate where you are going. As you can see, we completely wiped that independence off the map. There was nothing you can do, you see. With most other ships and their smoke, normally they'll put down a piece of smoke and the ship will sit directly still in that smoke, which gives an aircraft carrier especially an area of chance per se, where they can blind fire into the smoke cloud and maybe get a hit. With the Perth, that's not the case because the Perth is constantly moving and therefore the smoke cloud is constantly moving, and as a result, there is simply nothing you can do. The chance of actually scoring a hit is lowered significantly. Now, I know you're watching this gameplay and thinking, what the fuck are you guys doing? Kamikaze's got a smoke cloud ready to go. They're engaging a battleship. They're completely detected. What are they doing? Well, guys, the battleship was not aiming at us, and due to the fact, or he wasn't originally aiming at us, and due to the fact that the Perth comes with very high mobility, it's actually quite easy to go about dodging battleship shells, and as a result we were very easily able to just score a ton of hits on that battleship and put him down to Davy Jones's locker very easily through the power of our HE damage. Now, Scott's being engaged by a Cleveland, and this is another key element of teamwork coming into fruition here. Scott gets lit by 2 fires on his hull, and if he takes on any more hits from that Cleveland, he's probably going to get a one-way ticket down to the Davy Jones locker as well. However, here I come in with my mobile smoke generator. You know that smoke generator I was saving from earlier on? Now, this is when it becomes very useful. Here I am able to dart in front of Scott, provide him that smoke cover, make sure he takes no more hits from this Cleveland, and as a result, we can start returning fire nice and safely with the Cleveland not being able to do anything in return. And while Scott may have 2 fires burning on his hull, he's actually going to survive. And I'd safely say that if I didn't jump in there with my smoke generator, he would have easily died then and there from the Cleveland. And yes, he does die later on in the game, but he doesn't die this early on in the game. That smoke cloud that I was able to dart in front of him and save him with has prolonged his life effectively, which is just another example of how important teamwork can be in World of Warships. So FYI to all of you destroyer players out there who think you are beyond teamwork and you're all out there for those torpedo kills, take note from this gameplay and how important it can be. You could save someone's life. Keep that in mind. Anyway, we see that the B point has been captured by the enemies, and while we do have a significant lead, my smoke cloud's about to end. So, Scott and I stop shooting. We enter a stealth mode per se. Well, I stop shooting. I don't know what Scott's doing. Anyway, I make sure that I enter back into stealth mode with my 9.6 kilometer concealment range, and we decide to make a dart for that B point and ensure that we can secure ourselves the victory. So now that Cleveland's no longer got a spot on us, we're back in stealth mode and we dart it towards that B point no matter what happens. And by this time, Scott will now have another smoke generator recharged and ready to go for when we get engaged on this B point. Keep that in mind later on. We're also making use of the island as cover here to ensure that we remain as undetected as possible for a considerable amount of time. Now, that's a Leander over there. The Leander is the tier, I believe it is the tier 5, maybe the tier 5 or tier 6 British cruiser. It escapes my mind from this point on. We're also got a couple of other cruisers in play here as well. Now, the Leander it comes with special AP, therefore that makes the Perth very, very vulnerable to it. Here I am firing AP at this Leander, and that probably wasn't the smartest decision of all time, considering that the Perth's AP is not that great either. However, I've made a bit of a stupid mistake here. There are quite a few cruisers nearby. I'm now balls deep amongst all of them, and I'm making a charge for this B point out in the open with no smoke cover available to me. However, Scott is about to pop his smoke cloud, as you can see back there down below. He's trying to catch up to me to provide me that cover, but he instantly tells me that he's simply got to get into smoke and slow right the hell down to 8 knots in order to save himself from being blapped off the map by these enemy cruisers. That is when I decide to make a really risky maneuver and completely double back on myself. Broadsiding a Leander like this was a very risky maneuver. As you can see, I copped quite a few shells, but I was angled just enough to make sure they either bounced off of me or over-penetrated me or caused very low penetrating hits. And as a result, I'm able to double back into Scott's smoke nice and quickly without copping too much damage. And I've also entered back into stealth mode here by not shooting for a while. So again, it's all about, choosing when to engage with the Perth, and if so, knowing when to retreat. I played a very risky game. Thankfully, it paid off for me there, and now I'm sitting back in Scott's smoke cover, and I'm able to start engaging targets again. Unfortunately, not many targets for me to engage thanks to the islands being in the way, but as a result, we did manage to capture the B point and have thus put our team in an almost sure victory position now. The only way we can lose is if these 3 enemy cruisers that have been hit quite considerably end up all dying. And at this point, Scott and I decide, fuck it, time to charge the enemy ships and see how much damage we can get on target. We know that we've pretty much won the game now. It's all about ensuring that we can score as much damage onto target and maximize our credit gain from this match. Unfortunately, from this point on, I don't score much more damage on my target. 31,000 damage is not that great, but then again, it's okay for a light cruiser per se, I guess. I'm more used to playing battleships where, you're scoring damage points of upwards of 100,000. But yeah, unfortunately, not much more damage to score on my end, and unfortunately, Scott also doesn't make it all the way to the end. He gets killed by something, I don't know what it was off the top of my head, but he does get knocked out of the game. But anyway guys, and unfortunately I don't manage to record at the end of this game. For some reason the recording didn't capture the entire game. But anyway guys, that pretty much sums up everything I wanted to talk about in today's video. It's all about teamwork, especially with this 2 Perth strategy can be extremely powerful if you communicate with your ally. If you constantly tell them where you're going to be, where you're going, and you stay in communication as to who's got smoke, who doesn't, who's got hydroacoustic, who doesn't, you can make any enemy destroyer or any enemy cruiser at close range, you can become their absolute nightmare, and it's something to work on. Like in any ship combo that works out there, communication and teamwork is absolutely key, and it just goes to show with this Perth combination. So guys, that pretty much wraps up everything I want to talk about in today's video. I hope today's video serves as an interesting catalyst for you guys in regards to looking at teamwork in World of Warships and how you can apply it to your own gameplay. If you guys enjoyed today's video, then a backhanding of that like button would be greatly appreciated. Whether you found the video informative or whether you simply enjoyed the gameplay or found our Perth shenanigans hilarious, backhand that like button, guys. Let me know you enjoyed the video so I can do more of this sort of stuff in the future. If you guys find yourself backhanding that like button and you're new to the channel, backhand that subscribe button whilst you're at it to keep up to date with the content in which I'm releasing here. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys have to say in the comment section down below in the form of feedback. As for always, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. Peace out, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Have a good one.